Looking to buy a MacBook? Well, there are a lot of positives, as we have MacBooks for students on a budget to high-end devices for editing and 3D effects. Everyone has something in this detailed review on the 5 best MacBooks of 2026. So, without any delay, let's begin. MacBook Neo. This is one of the first MacBooks that Apple is actually selling at a budget price since its launch in 2026. Apple didn't compromise on its portability. It weighs around 1.23 kilograms and is around 13 to 14 millimeters thick, makes it thin and light computer for daily use. It is made with premium aluminum unibody construction, and thin bezels with flat edges add modern touch. However, the 13-inch Liquid Retina 2408 by 1506 resolution display is impressive, as it reaches up to 500 nits of peak brightness, delivers 100% sRGB, yet it lacks True Tone, and the colors are not as accurate as premium MacBooks, but far better than budget Windows laptops, whereas the 60 Hz refresh rate is standard for budget laptops. For performance, it runs on the 6-cores A18 Pro chip, which is equivalent to Intel Core Ultra U series chipsets, paired with 5-core GPU with hardware ray tracing and 16-core neural engine. Basically, it can handle web browsing, office apps, and light editing work, as 8 GB RAM is included under this machine, which is the trade-off as it is not upgradable. But for basic daily use, it gets the job done. Moreover, the 36.5 watt-hour battery lasts around 10 to 12 hours, depending on usage, making it great for outdoor use. Additionally, you get just 2 USB-C ports, no Thunderbolt, and no MagSafe charging, and features like backlit keyboard missing in base model. Still, 256GB variant can cost you $699. Makes it best deal if you are student, web developer, writer, or office worker. Go for it. Links in the description. Next, let's compare the MacBook Air M4 and the MacBook Pro M4. First, let's simplify things. Choosing between these two is confusing, as both feature the M4 processor that runs on 10 cores and up to a 10-core GPU. But it is not all about raw power. It is also about how each machine is designed to handle your workload, as the MacBook Air M4 is built for people who want a laptop that's incredibly light, completely silent, and still powerful enough for almost every workload, including casual video editing. But it doesn't have cooling fan, so it's quite obvious it stays completely silent, which is appreciable. But it also means this M4 Air has limitations when it comes to demanding tasks like exporting large video projects or running heavy software continuously. It will slow down slightly to keep temperatures under control. Now, interestingly, the Pro version has active cooling system. So clearly, the M4 Pro is built for creators and professionals, as it works for 4K editing, 3D rendering, and running multiple virtual machines. However, not only performance, but display quality is also a huge advantage for the M4 Pro. You get brighter Liquid Retina XDR screen with deep contrast, excellent HDR support, and 120 Hz ProMotion refresh that makes scrolling and animations feel noticeably smoother, whereas the M4 Air delivers 60 Hz. So, in any case, if you play games or do a lot of scrolling, 120 Hz feels much better. In fact, M4 Pro also delivers peak brightness up to 1,600 nits. Additionally, Pro also offers better port support. It comes with Thunderbolt ports and MagSafe charging, along with HDMI and, most importantly, SD card slot, which is a blessing for creators which M4 Air lacks. Moreover, the 13-inch M4 Air is more portable, weighs around 1.24 kilograms, and 11.3 millimeters thick, whereas the 14-inch M4 Pro is slightly bulkier, around 1.55 kilograms and 15.5 millimeters thick, still lighter than most professional laptops. For battery, on paper, the M4 Pro lasts for 24 hours, but it completely depends on the usage scenario. So, which one should you buy? The MacBook Air M4 at $1,300 is the best value if you need lightweight and fast laptop for daily use. But for intensive tasks, the Pro M4 at $2,000 justifies its higher price. In conclusion, both are outstanding laptops. But the choice really comes down to whether you prioritize portability and value or premium features with top-notch performance. Now, let's move on to Apple's latest generation variants, MacBook Air M5 and MacBook Pro M5. Again, although the same M5 chip powers both laptops, but Pro version is available with higher-end configurations, offer more CPU and GPU cores, whereas the base model M5 Air comes with a 10-core CPU and up to 10-core GPU. So, in multitasking and benchmark tests, you can expect better performance from the M5 Pro, whereas both M5 models can outperform the M4 by around 15 to 20%. Honestly, it's not a massive jump in performance, but if you run heavy applications, the M5 is noticeably better, especially in rendering and editing multi-layer footage. However, just like the M4 MacBook Air, the M5 Air is fanless laptop, so it is completely silent. But for better thermal management, the M5 Pro has active cooling, so there is always noticeable difference in sustained performance. The Pro also uses Apple's Liquid Retina XDR display with ProMotion technology, which means you get 120Hz refresh rate. Still, the MacBook Air has an excellent display, but it focuses more on efficiency than premium visuals, and it delivers up to 500 nits of brightness, which is still great for most environments. But the M5 Pro, on the other hand, reaches up to 1,600 nits of peak HDR brightness, which is a massive difference. For connectivity, same story continues. The Air keeps limited port selection with Thunderbolt ports and MagSafe charging, whereas the Pro adds HDMI and SD card reader. Basically, for most users, it's not a big deal, but if you are someone who connects cameras, memory cards, or external displays every day, those extra ports can save you from carrying adapters everywhere. However, MacBook Pro packs larger battery around 72.4 watt-hours to 100 watt-hours compared to 53.8 watt-hours to 66.5 on larger screen variants in Air M5, so Pro version lasts longer during heavy workloads. Still, MacBook Air runs for full day on regular use, so it does not put huge upgrade. Additionally, M5 offers improved GPU performance and better hardware accelerated ray tracing compared to the M4 processor, which helps in heavier workloads like animation, 3D modeling, and video editing. As M5 also has more advanced AI capabilities, so it's more future-proof, especially if you need laptop for the next 5 to 7 years. Currently, M5 Air can cost around $1,100 to $1,400, and M5 Pro starts at around $2,000. So basically, the MacBook Air M5 offers a better value at its price, but if you can stretch your budget by a few $100s, the MacBook Pro M5 is still worth it. So, after comparing all 5 MacBooks, which one should you actually buy? Basically, MacBook Neo at record low budget provides Apple experience and honestly perfect for students, office work, and everyday productivity. However, if you want best value for money, the MacBook Air M4 and M5 is still best mid-range MacBook, as it offers flagship-level performance in small form factor. But for users who need professional performance, the MacBook Pro M4 and M5 is better and future-proof, as it is ideal for creators, developers, and pro users. So finally, it's all about priority and budget. Thanks for watching.